What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I'm going to be previewing the Seahawks game on Sunday against the Packers. I'm doing this on Friday again because I'm going out of town today. I'm going to Utah for the next few days, so I won't be able to get to that, so I decided I'd do it today. I was actually going to do it yesterday, but I was really tired after coming home from my friend's house watching the Niners game. Well, I'll talk about that for a bit, too. But yeah, I'm just going to preview the game. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. All right, so yeah, massive game on Sunday. I mean, it's even more big now because of the results of last night's game against between the Rams and Niners. This game doesn't really decide the division by all means, but it's definitely a game that we need to win. This is a very important game. I mean, the Rams just won on Monday night or Thursday night last night, in not shocking fashion, but just in disappointing fashion from the Niners. And thinking of as a Niners fan, like putting myself in Niners shoes, that was a horrible loss. And I'm gonna just talk about that for a second. Because I'm a little upset because the one time I want the Niners to win, they freaking lose. Kyle freaking Shanahan, dude. The league has figured it out. The league has figured you out. I saw so many times yesterday of them doing slants, simple slants, forcing the ball to Debo when he can't catch the ball. I know the reason why they wanted to give the ball to Debo is because this dude's feelings got hurt, and Kyle Shanahan just feels like he has to owe it to him that, I got to get this guy to the ball because he went to X and said, I'm not struggling at all. I'm not getting the ball. Like, what? That doesn't, dude. You say stuff like that in the NFL, you should be benched. That's just how it works. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. Kyle Shanahan. If I'm a Niners fan, I know a lot of Niners fans have called for Shanahan's head. This game might be an example as to like that. This, I wouldn't say an example, but this game. Actually, yeah, I would say this is an example that could prove him right. That Shanahan does need to go after this year. I mean, hey, as a Seahawks fan, I'd be great to that. I would love if that happened. But the one time that we needed the Niners to come through, they dropped laid the biggest egg imaginable. I mean, it was a great defensive battle. I love defensive battles all day long. Don't get me wrong. But when you have two offensive coaches going at it, you're not expecting a 12-6 score. Not at all. You're expecting like in the 20s. And I understand that, McVay and McVay is from the Shanahan tree, and they know each other, so they're probably more likely to know how each other's offenses work. But this is just ridiculous. This is absolutely putrid. That was a putrid performance from their offense yesterday. My friend who's a Niners fan who I was at his house watching the game, he was livid, and he's basically saying he wants to lose the rest of the season, tank, which is fair. But still, like, Shanahan, dude, the one time I wanted you to come through, the one time all Hawks fans wanted you to come through, you laid the biggest egg imaginable. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Shanahan might be out of. Well, he won't. Oh, he won't. I don't even know why I'm saying that. He will be the Niners head coach next year. But this game right here shows that the league has figured him out. I mean, yeah, you can say they dropped 38 on the Bears, but it's the Bears. So I would hope we do the same next week, or not next week, the week after on Thursday night. So, but anyway, but basically this game on Sunday, I'm gonna go back to the game on Sunday. This game on Sunday is huge. It's even more big now. Now that if the Rams lost, we could afford to lose the game. We just had to win. We would have to win 2 out of the last 3. But now that the Rams won, we have to at least win 2. We have to at least win the next. We have to go at least 9-7, assuming that the Rams take more L's by week 18. So that way, if it's a winners take all, we would get the tiebreaker because we would have a better division record. But yeah, this game is going to be massive. I'm just glad that it's in Seattle. The defense has finally found itself. Honestly, I feel like both sides are starting to find themselves, and when they're finding themselves at the perfect time, because this is the time where we need people to step up if you want to make this playoff push in the final few weeks, and that'd be great if we can. We're 3-4 at home. It'd be great if we could leave our woeful games at home in the past of the season, like leave it in the past and not have it come back and rear its ugly heads. But I mean, it's a tall task to stop these guys. They got ballers. Josh Jacobs is insane. Jordan Love can make plays. Reed, he's nice. They got Christian Watson, and then on the defense they got Jair Alexander. Not to mention they have Romeo Doubs on the receiving end as well. He's probably going to be playing. I think he's going to be taken out of concussion protocol and play. Although they are missing Luke Musgrave, who's one of their bigger tight ends. But overall, they're still pretty healthy, and they have a good O-line. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's a very important game. I'll go over on how we can be able to win the game. But first, let's go over injuries. Obviously, we have to wait until today to figure out who's going to be, before we get a better idea of who's playing on Sunday. But it looks like K9 might be missing a second straight week with this calf injury. Not ideal, but it does give me hope because of Charbonnet, and Charbonnet really popped off last week, and Kenny McIntosh, who also had a few nice carries last week against the Cardinals, or on Sunday against the Cardinals. But it looks like K9's not going to be playing. Trey Brown, Jarek Reed, those guys might not play. Those guys are on special teams. I wouldn't worry about Williams or Jones or Metcalf. They're probably just trying to, conserve themselves and not go too hard because they know their systems well, so they don't really need to practice as much, especially if if we're trying to make the playoffs. We're going to need these guys as healthy as possible. So definitely smart to limit these guys, and even then, like Jones and Williams, half of it is NIR rest. So even though they might be dealing with some knee stuff or the foot stuff in case of Williams, it's really just a precautionary thing, I feel like. So I wouldn't really worry about that. But overall, everybody else is pretty healthy. Tyler Lockett, full practice. I mean, like half of the people that were out, more than half of the people that were out yesterday were out due to resting. Just that resting, which is, fine, because we need these guys to have rest. So, but not having K9 would be a pretty big blow for Sunday's game. But I am confident after seeing that outing by Charbonnet on Sunday that he can, give us some yards when we need it. But then again, it is all dependent on the O-line and the scheming. I mean, on Sunday we did a lot of we did a mixture. A lot of times we do gap schemes, but this time we did zone. Apparently, I saw Mina Kimes X post like back on Sunday or Monday, and they're talking. She was pointing out how they were just spamming GT counter, which basically it destroyed the Cardinals D-line. So basically, we just got to be able to game plan the way that we did against the Cardinals on Sunday, and the O-line's got to continue to do what it's doing. The past couple weeks, even against the Jets, I saw improvements compared to the first 9 or 10 weeks of the season, 11, 12 weeks of the season. So the past couple weeks, the O-line has shown a little bit of improvement. So we'll see what happens going into this game. I mean, Geno took 0 sacks on Sunday against the Cardinals, so I'm not expecting that to happen again. But you know what? In a way, I am, because of the Packers' defense. Now, according to Hawk Blogger, there's a short on his YouTube channel that you can go check out. The Packers are dead last in drop pack success and in the defense, which is huge. Also because their secondary is banged up. We don't know if even though Jair Alexander is looking to play, we don't know if he'll be fully healthy. So on top, even then, even though Jair Alexander could play, they have the worst drop pack pass defense in the league. And on top of that, they are 29th in the NFL in pressure rate. Other teams that we've gone up against that have low pressure rates are the Cardinals. I think they're 25th. The Falcons, they are somewhere in the lower 20s. Basically, teams that have the teams that we have faced that have lower pressure rates, we have won against. So basically, our O-line's just got to take. Obviously, each week's a new week. It's any given Sunday, but they only have one player on their team that has 30-plus pressures. We have 5 on our D-line that have 30-plus pressures. We were I think we're top 10 in pressure rate. So, we got to get home, of course. But the key All right, I'm going to get into, how we can win this game. The key to winning this game is stopping, or not stopping, because that's almost impossible. Limiting, no, Flight Simulator, I do not care. Sorry. I wouldn't say stopping Josh Jacobs because that's pretty hard to do. I would say limit him. If we can limit him to under 90 yards or below, like James Conner did, we'll have a good day. But the thing is, Josh Jacobs, he's insane, and they have an amazing O-line, but we have an amazing D-line. So it's just going to be a battle of the trenches this game for sure. We got to get pressure on Jordan Love because he makes a lot of mistakes when he is under pressure. I know he can scramble. He can't really scramble. He's really a pocket passer, but he can use his legs when he needs to. But he's really just a pocket passer, and we're gonna have to make his night hard if we want to have any success against him in the passing game. And in the run game, I mean, we just got to keep whatever Mike McDonald has been telling the linebackers, and just what he's been scheming in general. You just got to keep doing what he's doing. And I mean, that's basically it. And I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the gist. On offense, I'd say do the same thing we did. Got to get the run game going. That made Geno's day easier. Definitely got to continue getting the ball out to our playmakers like JSN and DK. If Lockett can get going somehow, that would be great. But that's, like I said, Lockett, he's been a non-factor since the bye. And that's, like I said, it's not all his fault. JSN's here. DK's still on the team. You got other people to distribute the ball to, like K9 and Charbonnet out of the backfield. You got Fant. You got Brown. You got Barner. So we do have a bunch of playmakers on the offense that we can dish the rock out to. But, I want Geno to continue what he's been doing the past couple weeks. Play clean football. Take what the defense gives him. Don't force. He's done a good job of not doing that the past couple weeks. So if he can continue playing that way against the Packers, we'll have a very high success of winning as long as our defense shows up, which I don't see why it won't. It's been showing up for the past 5 weeks. So, but we're at home. We're underdogs in our own house, rightfully so, because we haven't really done well in our own house this entire year. But this is a chance to prove and change all that, prove ourselves. We got a huge chip on our shoulder. I like that we're the underdog. I feel like it gives everyone a big chip on the shoulder. And obviously, these guys want to win a division. We have a half-game lead in the division right now. We can turn into a game lead with a win on Sunday. So this is a massive game by any means. And winning this game would not only be huge, but it would also prove that we are a tough out if we actually do make the playoffs and we don't fumble the past few weeks. So basically, you got to play clean football. Can't have penalties. We've been doing a lot better as the year goes on with penalties, so that's really good to see. We just got to continue to play clean football on both sides of the ball. So that's really the only logical way to win a football game, but especially it's really the only logical way to win a football game against another playoff team. So, this is a huge game. We have to go in and we have to show up and show out. And, because it's coming down to these final weeks, and we're going to need to get like Mike McDonald said, we just got to keep stacking wins. So, I think that's all I have for this video. I'll make a review for after the game, but it won't be until later next week because I won't be back in town until Wednesday next week. So, huge game. So we'll see what happens. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. And go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.